all my fantasy football friends. Welcome to the Multiple First Dynasty Fantasy Football channel here on YouTube. This is Tony, StoshX on the Sleeper app, coming to you with another solo video. Uh, for those of you who don't know, Greg's kind of busy right now this time of year with what he's got going on, so it's mostly been me chopping it up, but he and I are going to come together and make something for you real soon. We've been talking a lot. We've got a lot of good ideas for some future content. Today we're doing a draft breakdown. Today we're looking at the Universal Expert Elite Dynasty League. This one right here, baby. This is a 12-team Superflex league with 4 starting wide receiver spots, 3 starting running back spots, 2 flexes, tight end, QBSF. Bench, how much bench we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bench, 4 taxi. This is a real thick roster here. I thought this draft was incredibly competitive from the boys I was drafting against, and maybe girls. I don't know. I don't know them that well, but I'm assuming it's a bunch of dudes. And you know, very challenging draft process. Very challenging to get all the trades I wanted, but I was able to still find and make a bunch of moves. As you can see here, I was able to assemble 7 total 2023 first round picks. That's right where I want to be. I got 323 seconds. I got, some thirds. This is feeling good. I'm pretty happy about this. But I wanted to break this league down for you just because this is just such an incredibly competitive league we have here. Maybe the most competitive league I'm playing in, honestly. And no disrespect to my other league mates, but this is just some real dogs in this one. This was every single guy. There's no randoms in here. Every single man in this league was handpicked by the commissioner Kevin Bach to make this as challenging as possible on all of the users. Some familiar faces, J Cap, Nick Bach, T Clark, guys I'm in a few different leagues with. We have this guy Alan Seslowski. He's got a Roto World tag, and I saw him making some videos for RW. That's pretty cool. Have a content creator like myself in there. I think we have another content creator in here. I forget who it is. I think it's Mike. Is also a video maker. So I'm hoping they tune in. I'm hoping I can make something here that is up to their standards. But yeah, it was a really fun draft process. It took a long time. It was an awful slow-moving one. This was a combined draft where you saw the rookies and the veterans both in the draft together, and yeah, it took a couple weeks to get through this thing, but we did it, and it was a lot of fun. This draft just finished up, like I don't even know, like a week ago. I'm recording this video on Sunday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. For those of you wondering, having a nice evening, nice Sunday evening at home, chilling. Got a lot of cleaning done today. Did some laundry, took care of my house. Feels good, man. Doing that real family man stuff. But yeah, so here's the draft board we're looking at. I made a bunch of trades. Check this out. Your boy Stosh didn't make his first selection until the 6-4. This isn't me picking players and trading them off later. I literally moved my pick as it came up for the first 5 consecutive rounds. You're talking about my first player was the 64th selection, and I took a rookie, a rookie receiver. Pretty interesting, I think. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Let me know if you feel like you've got you know the fortitude to pass on players for 60 selections deep. The real problem with what we had going on was I really kind of whiffed on quarterback. I mean, I was getting good trades, so I'm not complaining. But like usually I want to have like 1 or 2 solid guys for my future push lined up, and just kind of didn't. By the time I was actually making selections, all of the safe quarterbacks were gone. I could have taken Pickett here at 6-4, I guess, but that would have been it. That was like literally the only 23 safe option for me. And I don't even know how safe Pickett is. I might be in a minority here when I say this, but I think Pickett may. There's a chance Trubisky just holds on to the starting job. Trubisky's pretty good as far as physically. He's got the physical traits to be, a big time quarterback in the NFL. He's got the former capital. he had that reset year to refine himself. He's 27 years old now. That's typically when most of us men out here start actually kind of becoming who we need to be in life. Um, I got nothing bad to say about Pickett, but I just think Trubisky could play well enough to hold on to this job. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. So, Pickett's not necessarily this ultra safe asset, maybe as he's being viewed. Or Pickett could take this job by week 3. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I got put in the 109 slot here, which is pretty crummy. Really bad draft position. Maybe my single least favorite spot to be in is the 9 hole. 9 and 12 are like my two least favorite spots. Really, any of these last 4 spots just suck. It's really not fun. You're not high enough in the second to really do any damage. You're too low in the first to find a good deal on your pick if you're trying to trade out. Just not where you want to be. Um, yeah. So let's take a look at some of the moves we made to get us into passing on players for the first 5 rounds. So what I wanted to showcase first of all is you know what was really interesting here is I was spamming out flyers on my first round pick, my 1.9, as the board came down to me and approached me. It went pretty fast. These first 8 picks came off in like an hour or so, and I was just slamming flyers to every team in the league. I'm trying to find our normal, multiple first strategy trade off, which is the third, a fifth, and a 23 first. So I'm in the 109 spot, so I don't think I'm actually going to get that 3-5-1. I'm probably going to settle for like a 3-8. At worst, maybe like a 4-7 combo, something like that with the 23 first. But I'm determined to get 2 vets and a 23 first in a deal. So I was just firing off trades. I was making sure every single one of these 11 people in the league had a trade from me, and I had 11 pending offers. Like when someone would decline one, I would lower my ask and resend it. So my trade box, my trade alert always said at least 9 or 10. There was a couple people like PB and Jabes and Nick Bach and Clark were really they just didn't want my trade at all. Like they would just literally instantly decline it as soon as I send it. I'm not even sure if they even looked at it. So maybe they so it was hard to keep an offer pending with every single person, but I continually countered myself and lowered my ask until finally I was able to find a deal. We made a deal with Chief ST, the Jets fan here in the 11 hole. The deal we well, before we talk about the deal we made, just this is what I'm talking about though. This is a whole page of declined trades. This is literally how the draft started for me. This is 8 declined trades I sent out. This is another 8. These are separate trades. This is not repeating any of the trades in any of these screenshots. This is all just on my 1.9. This is 8 more trades I sent out, and this is 8 more trades I sent out. So this is over 30 offers that got declined that I sent to these other 11 league mates, these other 11 managers. And over the course of these 11 trade offers I sent out, 2, not just once, but twice, did someone accept one of my flyer trades and then immediately call out in chat that they wanted to back out of it, that they misclicked. That was awful annoying because I thought I had a completed deal. In each of those instances, the offending party, the misclicking party, let me keep their 2023 third round pick as kind of an idiot tax, is what I like to call it. So I have 4 23 thirds, and that's how I got 2 of them, is just through idiot taxing 2 people who misclicked. If someone calls out in chat that they accepted a trade or that they didn't mean to, like, oops, I didn't mean to do that, and if it's within like a minute or 2 of the trade going through, I'm fine with reversing it. I mean, I'm not stoked about it, but it is what it is. It's happened to me before where I've needed trades reversed instantly due to just user error. So it happens to all of us. What I like to think is just kind of treat others how you want to be treated in that scenario, and reset things and let them go on. But yeah, as you can see, this is 4 pages of declined trades, and then not included here was the 2 that got misaccepted. That was a lot of fun. Um, I was just countering myself down, countering myself down. Finally, Chief ST, he sends me the 511, 911, 23 first. Finally, someone sends me a trade back. Every single one of these, this isn't me declining any trades. This is just me sending out flyers and people declining all of them. Finally, one manager sent me a counter. Oh boy, wow. Sing your heart out or whatever, because this is real nice that this finally happened. He sends me the 511, 911, and 23 first for my 109, which is just I can't accept this. This is not enough. I would select the player rather than accept this trade. So I counter him back and I send my 511 and I raise the 911 up to the 802, and he accepts that and we make our first trade. So this is very, very tight. As you can see, this is significantly lower than I've been accepting in my other leagues. Usually we want that 3-5-1, that 3-7-1. I'll even take a 3-9-1. Getting a third is really important. I'm getting a late fifth, an early eighth, and a 23 first. Like the only reason this is worthwhile in any way is because the 23 first is sweet. My 109 is too, it's low, so what are you going to do? And the rookies are baked into this draft process, so I know in the 8th round I can still get a pretty good player. Um, Take a look at the calculator breakdown of this deal. I already plugged it all in. My 109 is 55 points. Over here, the package side 63. Very, very close. If this first were to be real low, this trade might not even be worthwhile at all. But I would say the trade we made is even, just straight up even as it gets. Chief SD, he jumped up there and he took Justin Jefferson. I even called out in chat during the middle of those 30, 40 declined offers. There's more than 30 because some of the offers I sent out that get instant decline, like instant decline, don't even show up in the history because they get declined so fast. Sleeper doesn't even register they were sent. So it's probably closer to 40 offers I sent out, flyers. So that's like me countering myself 2 or 3 times, as many as 4 times to every single person in this league, and none of them wanting to deal with me is what that looks like. But I called out in chat. I was like, yo, hey, man, I'm trying to move this 109. Lamar, Deshaun, Jefferson, Lance. All these boys are still on the board. Who wants to come up and get one? And, I've seen people complain in chat, or people think that calling out player names in chat, as relative to the board is like bad manners. I don't think that's true at all. If you're someone who's, if you can get, I don't know, influenced by your league mates, like calling out player names, like that's just weak-minded. You should know who you're trying to pick, and also like there's no secrets out here, guys. Like let's I want to dispel that myth real quick. There's no secrets in fantasy football. Okay, there may be information people don't know, certainly, but like it's all the same players and they all go around the same spot in every single draft everywhere always. I mean, maybe there's 2 or 3 round difference on some guys here and there, but like to call out, who are among the best players on the board, especially in the early part. Like this is top 10. Like obviously Jefferson's one of the best players available. Maybe in like the 7th or 8th round. That's kind of bad manners, I guess. Still, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. If someone picks a player and they say, "Well, I really considered these 2 or 3 other guys," that's fine. That's fine to do. I don't. I really see no problem with that at all. Um, yeah. But some people don't like it, so I don't know. In any individual league, just kind of respect what the commissioner says in that regard. But yeah, Chief ST, he jumps up here to get Justin Jefferson. He takes Watson and Lance on his 2 picks here. Gets himself a nice, safe double quarterback, really triple quarterback start, and building out from the wide receiver position. This is what you want to be doing to make a dominant dynasty team. Is get safe at quarterback, get big at wide receiver as fast as possible. The trade we made, I really liked it because I get that 23 first, which I've always been trying to stack, which I'm continuing to try and stack in every single league. And also, I really wanted to send a message as far as setting the tone, breaking the ice, I like to call it, and having everyone in this league, the other 10 people who were not even listening to my trade, say, hey, I completed something, guys, and Chief is up here, and he's big now. He's huge. He's got Justin Jefferson and Watson, and he paid a very minimal price to get it. As you can all see, me, Stash X, is super reasonable to deal with. I'm trying to make a fair trade, and this other guy over here, he's real huge. So if you want to compete with him, guess what? You're going to have to trade up also. So I want to play that mental game with my league opponents. I have no aspirations of being competitive. Before Josh Allen even came off the board in this league, I knew I'm not trying to be competitive in year one in this league. I know that. And I'm trying to leverage that fact into long term strength. That's what I want to do. And everyone else in this league is trying to be competitive up front. All these other 11 teams, I mean, maybe they pivoted later on, but you can see just the number of RBs that go in the second round. Um, People are trying to push, man. People are trying to be strong here, and I'm not doing that. I'm trying to zig while everyone else is zagging. I'm trying to leverage time into my favor and be huge later on. I'm trying to set myself up for a multiple championship run in like the second, third, fourth year of this league, something like that. So this worked out well. I'm very satisfied with it. And we move our 2.4. Let's take a look at some of the other trades that happened. So this is me trading off my 204 to DK Mush. I get a 23 first. I get his 703. This is a bread and butter type deal. I go down 5 rounds, almost exactly 5 rounds, and I get a 23 first. This is beautiful. I'm very satisfied with this. I get DeAndre Swift ends up being the 2.4 pick. At the 703, I get Rashad Bateman. So you want Bateman and a 23 first or DeAndre Swift? Call it out. Think to yourself, what do you want? It's pretty much dead even. The cool upside for me is I get super young and safe because I have a receiver and a 23 first, and he's got a running back that's going to age, a little more, a little less gracefully than my side of that trade. So I get to put pieces that line up with my strategy together. I'm very happy about this. Yeah, I used to be in on Swift. Earlier in this offseason, I was in on Swift, but I've really been refining my strategy. I've done 10 startups this offseason, guys. 10. That's like easily the most I've ever done in a single offseason. It's just so much. I've been actually jumping in startups just to get more content made, and just so I can keep running my strategy and keep working on the nuance of it. But I was in on Swift, pretty extensively early as one of few running backs I was willing to take early, and now I'm out of that. There's really no running back whatsoever, relative to their current ADP that I would take in the first 9 rounds of a draft. There isn't one. I mean, Taylor would be about it if he fell to me in like the 7 or 8 hole, but at that point, I could trade him away for more than what I would get Taylor's worth. But like, if I was forced to make a selection in any of these spots, I would take a quarterback over any of these tailbacks, and that's true for the first 5 rounds. In the whole first 5 rounds, I'd rather have a quarterback than any of the running backs that go every single time for the first 60 players. And then after it breaks into like round 6 through 9, I would just rather have a wide receiver than any of the running backs that are possibly on the board at that time. And then really in all my drafts I've done, I've only taken tailbacks as early as the 10th. Sometimes I don't take my first running back until later than that. We want to get loaded on receivers, loaded on quarterbacks, and that's what we were able to do, at least at receiver in this draft, and get loaded on 23 first-round picks. That's really what we were able to do. So good trade there, DK. That's him. From his side, DK Mush, he wants to move up. He wants to move up and say, hey, man, I could just all it's going to cost me is my 23 first going away, and I'm allowed to draft DeAndre Swift in the 7th round. If I give up my 23 first, I'm allowed to draft DeAndre Swift in my 7th round pick. That's great. If you're someone who has aspirations of being competitive, then heck yeah, I definitely want to do that. That's a trade I'd love to make if I'm trying to win the league first year. I'm getting a lot of points. I'm getting a big time return for my future pick in doing that. And I love it from my side. Taking a 5-round dip and adding a future one, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want to be doing. We're going to look at some trades other teams made in the league. So this was a trade that happened early on in the first round. So you see JCap is receiving the 101 and he's sending off his 104. So apparently he doesn't want Joe Burrow. I don't know, but he swaps up to get Allen in the 101, and Alex drops down to get Taylor. JCap, his second moves to his 209 moves to the 412. That's the big cost he's paying to move up from 4 to 1. The 609 and 612 is like nothing. It's like a wash. And then JCap gets his 809 bumped up to the 701 because this 2 to the 4th swap is so big. I like this move for JCap a lot. It's pretty good. It's better than sitting there and taking Burrow and sitting with your own picks, I think. For Alex's side, he I think he lost a little bit of overall capital value. Maybe not. Moving your 412 up to the 209 is pretty sweet. I'd have to calculate this. This is really close, though. I'd be surprised if this was more than like a 5 to 10% margin differential on strictly the capital exchange. So tight trade, 4 for 4 on picks. Nothing too crazy going on there. This is another version of a 2-for-1 swap, someone moving up. This is really similar to the trades I like to make. Nick Bach, instead of getting a 23 first, though, he's getting an 8-12. So, that's roughly what a 23 first can fetch, depending on the league, straight up as an 8-12. So he moves his 108, he goes down to the 209, and he gains the 8-12. So Nick, he trades off Jamar Chase. He goes down to the 209. He moves, one round down, but it's in the most expensive territory in the draft. And who is it that he's dealing with here? Um, it's Alex again. Alex is moving the pick he got from Cap. 2.9, he's moving up there to go get Chase. So now he's got this Taylor Chase start. The number one running back, the number one wide receiver in Dynasty football right now. Love that for him. And he's still got good picks. He doesn't have his 20. He doesn't have his 8-12, but he's still got his 23 first. He's still doing well. Good moves by Alex. Good moves by Nick. I think that's a pretty square swap. I definitely lean into the 2 side as opposed to the 1 side, but this is pretty even. Now you see Stash X. I'm going to deal with Nick Bach. He's going to send me that 8-12 he just received and his own 23 first to come up for my 309. So typically in the 3rd round, I'm trying to target Lawrence or another quarterback, maybe Fields, but this is a pretty good trade for me. I like 8-12 to the 309. Okay, so another 5-round slide down. I get a 23 first. Perfect. It's the exact same deal I made last time, and the area of the draft that I'm sliding down is less valuable less valuable territory than it was in the second. So this trade is strictly better for me than the previous one I made on my 2nd rounder. Not by much. They're all very tight deals, very close deals. As you can see, if you've kept up with my videos, these are not as good quality of trades as I've received in my other leagues. These are all dudes who know how to draft, they know how to trade, and I'm still going to try to get what I want from them. I'm still going to get 23 first round picks. Um, so this is the deal I was able to make. I'm down for it. Juju Smith-Schuster plus a 23 first in exchange for Devontae Adams. Which side do you want? Think about that. Which side do you want out there, guys? Leave me something in the comments. You want Adams or Juju in 23? I definitely want Juju on the 23. Absolutely. There's a chance Juju outscores Adams this season, let alone in the future for this 29-year-old guy. Juju's younger. I get to add that first. It's sweet. I get the hedge that Nick Bach maybe falls on his face in this league. That could happen. Here we go. So I make a deal with the Roto World guy, Alan Seslowski. I send my 404 and I get his 902 and his 23 first. Again, really similar to the last 2 deals. 5-round slide down, pick up a 23 first. I was hoping Fields would fall to me. When Fields didn't make it to me, that was really it as far as quarterbacks that I'm comfortable taking here at the 4.4. At that point, I would just see if Tua or Wilson or someone comes back. I'm going to take that deal that he's presenting of a 9th round pick plus the early 9th plus 23 first, rather than try to, jam what I would consider jamming Zach Wilson or Tua Tagovailoa at the 4.4. I get the 9.2. He moved up here to get Dalvin Cook. So once again, Pat Fryermuth and a 23 first or Dalvin Cook. This is a tight end premium league. I think it's like 0.75. I'm not sure for tight ends. We'll just call it 1.5. But what do you want out there in TV land? Fryermuth on the 23 first, or do you want Dalvin Cook? Maybe Cook for some people. That's fair. I'm not trying to be competitive. I don't want this guy who's got over 1,000 touches on his body. That's not my game right now. I'll take the 23-year-old tight end who is probably going to be a Pro Bowler, more often than not, or in the coming years. I'm moving onward. So this trade is one I made with T. Clark. This is on my 5th round pick. This thing's coming back around. None of the quarterbacks make it back to me. So now I just see all these QBs dry up, and I'm just thinking, well, we're not going to have any QBs. And At this point in the draft, I'm honestly thinking to myself, maybe I won't draft a quarterback at all, and just I'm not tanking if I just have no quarterbacks rostered. No one can force me to roster quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not like you know illegally tanking, I guess. It's a very safe way to make sure I get the 101 if I had no quarterbacks on my team whatsoever. And that was honestly something that was on my mind as it came up on my fifth, sixth turn here as well. Hey, I whiffed on the good QBs, on the safe QBs. So maybe I'll just draft receivers and tight ends and some running backs and rookies all the way down and just have no quarterbacks whatsoever rostered. I mean, ultimately I didn't do that because I got some guys at decent values, but that was in play for me mentally. T. Clark comes up here and he trades for my 509. So the deal we make is I send the 509 and the 1309. I get the 1106, a 23 first, and a 1607. So this is my 509 going down 6 rounds. It's a flatter part of the draft now since we're in the fifth, and then also my 13th goes down 3 rounds. I kind of hate this trade. The only reason I made this trade is because there's no safe quarterbacks on the board left. If there was a Zach Wilson or a Tua or someone up here in the fifth round, I would have taken that player over making this trade. This is a style of trade that I've been trying to utilize in order to get more 2023 firsts in my leagues, and that's the double swap down where I move two of my picks down, a few rounds in order to make sure a trade like this goes through. Typically in other videos in leagues past of mine, you see usually I can get this deal without the 13-16 swap, and yeah, I've done this in like 2 or 3 of my leagues now, where I've made a couple deals that I swapped down twice in a single deal to get the 23 first, and I kind of hate it, honestly. I really hate this type of deal. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't want to make deals like this anymore. I think I tried this, tasted it, not my flavor. I think I'm going to stick to my guns as far as 2-for-1s, very, very simple, very basic trades, where I only swap down a big chunk once and I get your 23 first. And maybe that's going to cost me some deals in the future where I don't get the 23s, or it'll probably be 24s. But that's fine. I kind of hate that trade. I'm not going to run the calculator on it, but I imagine the calculator says it's close because the 23 first is probably about worth the fifth, and then all this garbage is just garbage. um, but Clark's a tough negotiator. We play in a lot of leagues together. He was probing me on all these other deals as far as where he might be able to make a move. Me and him were negotiating deals on the second, on the third, on the fourth. Ultimately, I found better deals with the dudes I traded with, but Clark was in play, and so was Kevin Bach as well. And I think that's the next trade we're going to make. Kevin was interested, but these last 3 deals are just more a case of what I was talking about with the snowball, with the mental effect. I mean, Allen, I can give up my 23 first and I can draft Alvin Cook in the 9th round with my 9th round pick. Yes, I want to do that. I want to do that so I can keep up in this league and be strong in this league and have an elite group of running backs. It's a 3 RB start, so he's feeling that and he makes a move up. I mean, DK Mush, we went over him. Who else? Nick. I mean, Nick wanted to go up and get Adams so he could try to win this league. So multiple people all trying to win this league this year. They all think their pick is going to be super late in the first round. They all think they're going to be super duper strong. They all are trying to get all the points they can. And, I'm willing to bet against every single one of them. I mean, I might lose 1 or 2 of those bets, certainly. The odds that I have, whoever the champion is, the odds I have that person's 23 first are pretty high. Of the 7 picks I have, probably one of them is the title, guy. I probably have both teams that'll be in the championship game. I have there first, But are all 6 of these teams that I have? Are these the 6 playoff teams right here? Exactly that. I'd bet no. I'd bet 1 or 2 of these picks ends up in the top 5. Probably one of these picks is C.J. Stroud. There's a good, definitely this pick right here, mine is Bijan Robinson. There's a good chance one of these picks is Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is good. This is right where I want to be. Is betting against my opponents. So this is Kevin Bach coming to the table, and he's giving me his 23 first. This is a really similar deal I made to Clark. It's actually even friendlier, the one I give to Kevin here. I give away my 5, and I go down to the 11. So 6 round slide down, and then my 12 goes down to 17. So another 5 round slide down. I mean, if you consider these two are almost the exact same, the 11 and 12, it's basically I'm taking a 12 round dip in order to get a 23 first. You know, the 11th and 12th kind of wash out. So you're talking about a 5th for a 17th and 23 first. Pretty crummy trade. Really did not like either of the last 2 deals I made as far as overall value. If it may have been better for me to just sit and pick in those positions. 5'11". I had this pick. He wanted to move up there and get Amari Cooper. Sure. I would have taken Garrett Wilson in this spot anyway. I still get him at the 6'4". If me and Clark hadn't made a trade, I was going to take Drake London. He's smart and he knows to go up there and get that player. Yeah, but it's all kind of moot just because, like I said, there's no quarterbacks on the board. So I don't know. The best quarterback available to me was the quarterback I can select with the 23 first I acquired in the trade. So there you go. I don't know. Both of these two moves, in hindsight, I may not have made them. I mean, they work here in this league, I suppose, but I'm not gonna be making these multiple slide down deals in the future. I am out on that type of trade. So here's a trade that other people in the league make. This is Kevin Bach and PB and Jades. Kevin sends his 707 to move up 2 slots. He sends his 23 fourth to move up 2 slots from the 707 to the 705. What did he do? He wanted to move off of Elijah Moore. He wanted to jump up there and get Waller, so that he could be good at tight end. What is the tight end premium? Let's check that out. I think it's actually really high in this one. Yeah, it's a +1. It's a full point bonus, which is a lot. And that's just so tight end doesn't drown with the 3 RB 4 wide roster allocation that we have going on here. I think that's interesting. That's smart to have it jacked up like that. I don't know. I'd rather just have 2 tight ends, but hey, that's just me. Kevin, very active. This is him moving his 23 second and his 9th. He goes into the 8.10 slot and also acquires a 23 third. So his 23 second goes down a round, and then his 9th goes up a round. This is a pretty good move for Kevin. I like that. You're putting the cost off into the future, which is fine. He's what's he doing? He's moving his 9 to go up into the 8-10 to get Keenan Allen. So he's coming off Pierce, going into Keenan Allen. In hindsight, maybe he wants Pierce instead. I don't know, but he knows he needs receivers because he's only got 2 in Judy and Cooper at this point in the draft, and he's also seeing them dry up pretty quickly. So he goes and gets, what is the perennial wide receiver 1 candidate, Keenan Allen. Fair trade. Even swap. I don't mind it for either side. This is me and Nick coming back together and making another deal. This is another instance, like I said, of me doing this double swap down. I send my 10th and I get an 11th. I send my other 11th and I get a 15th. So basically my 10 goes down to 15 and I get a 23 second. Big fart noise. Probably maybe the worst trade I made in the whole process, honestly. Don't like doing that at all. He comes up and gets Tony Pollard. I might have taken that player. I go down to the 15th. So assuming the 11s wash out, which they pretty much do, I get Van Jefferson, right? 15-8. Excuse me while I'm yawning. So Van Jefferson in a 23 second or Tony Pollard. I'll take Van in the second, I guess. But it's close. Pollard could easily outrun that trade. But Nick's building something. He's coming along nicely. So I don't know, my picks. We'll check in with my picks at this point. I make my first selection, Garrett Wilson, here in the 6.4. I want him over Deontay. I think I want him over Jerry Jeudy as well. I really like Garrett Wilson and his talent. It's really tight. If I wasn't going to go Garrett, I would have taken Jeudy. I like Jeudy more than Deontay. I don't know if Deontay can keep this volume up without Ben and the offense they were running. It's going to be interesting. I mean, that's so many targets. It's sweet, and I have a lot of Deontay. I don't know. Also, the pending contract is kind of scary for his future. Garrett Wilson is just a A player I really like. I'm Ohio State homer. You know, I think a lot of us believe the Jets are going to take a step forward this season. But yeah, what else do we do? Seventh round comes down to take Rashad Bateman here. I think it's very clearly the BPA. Hollywood Brown at 7.9. Love that. James Conner, James Cook, Jamison Williams. Maybe I wanted JMO over Hollywood. Pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wanted JMO. Really tight though. Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith, just getting loaded at receiver. This is absolutely the plan. So we just want as many of these young, talented receivers as we can get. I mean, the first 5 receivers I took, first 5 players I took, are all receivers on their rookie contract. That's exactly what I want. I get Juju at the 8-12. I think this is a tremendous value on that player. Freiermuth at the 9.2 and this double points tight end premium. It's pretty good value from Muth. I was planning on fading tight end into nothingness and not taking a single tight end at all and keep slamming receiver, but like really could not ignore Freiermuth at the 9.2 here. This seems like a really safe spot to pick him up. Dotson, Pickens, Claypool. Pickens and Claypool, man, they really interesting. I keep seeing Pickens go ahead of Claypool, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I'd rather have Claypool on my dynasty team than George Pickens. I don't know, man. He's only 23. He's entering his 3rd year. Is it just the off-field concerns with it, or I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Who would you rather have out there, ladies and gentlemen? Would you rather have George Pickens or Chase Claypool? All things being equal, I'll give you one or the other straight up. You want Pickens or you want Claypool? Because it seems pretty polarizing right now. I do end up selecting a quarterback. Davis Mills in the 9.9 just seems safe. I'm going to take him over what is a 2nd-round rookie pick in David Bell or Rashad White or Isaiah Spiller. I'm willing to roll the dice on Mills. I have several shares, but it's all stuff I got super cheap last year. I haven't been drafting him in my startups that much this season. He probably loses his job in 23, but this team not having any quarterbacks whatsoever, he had an increased value to me. So I took the shot on that. Let's take a look at some more trades. PB and Jabe send offs his 13. He gets a 14 and 23 third. Whatever. Rolling Rock. He gets 2 23 4th round picks from Nick in order for Nick to move up from the 1205 to the 1201. So who did Nick give up 2 4th round picks to go get? He wanted to get Winston. Jameis Winston at 12.1. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that move. He probably wasn't going to make it down. I don't know. Did I even have a pick in this area? No, I didn't. I guess I could have taken Winston like with one of these later 11s, but meh. Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Maybe Drew Brees comes back and takes the job. Probably not. But yeah, I mean, that's a good spot for Winston, though. I've been seeing him go earlier and earlier in drafts. I get Tannehill in the 11th. I think Tannehill going below Malik is absolutely absurd. Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. But I don't know. There's a lot of hate on Ryan Tannehill right now because he didn't have that great of a season last year. The 21-14 touchdown interception ratio. I don't know. I'd definitely rather have Tannehill than Malik Willis, though. Kevin Boxon is 1206 and 2/3. He gets the 10-12. Who did Kevin go up there and get? Christian Kirk. He moves off his 12th to go get Christian Kirk. Moves 2/3. So, it's worthwhile. What is this? This is me and Clark come back, make another deal. I get his 23 2nd and 3rd. I send him 2 16s and this little 20 to 21 swap off for his 2nd and 3rd. Interesting. I don't know. This is pretty good for me. The 2 16s really aren't worth that much. Who did he want so badly? Melvin Gordon and Laviska Shenault. Yeah, I'm fine without those players. So this one, I feel a lot better about this trade. Finally, rolling DK Mush sends 2 23 seconds. And he's doing this in order to get 2 different swap ups at the same time. 2 different 8-round swap ups, 20 to 13, 22 to 14. Rolling Rock acquires 2 23 seconds in order to take those slides. Yeah, that's right here, this quarter he's trading off. Hunter Henry and Robert Woods. So DK traded 2 seconds to go get those two players. Interesting. I don't know. Henry seems fine there. I wouldn't have taken Woods though. I probably would have taken Palmer. Khalil Shakir, maybe Baker. Probably would have taken Baker. Yeah, and that's trade I looked at in my other video. How are we doing on time? We're 40 minutes in this thing. Real interesting. So this is the draft board. We went 31 rounds deep in this. Yeah, got Jelani Woods in the 15th. I think that was a pretty good value. Get Baker here. Romeo Dubs, Pierre Strong, Keyshawn Vaughn, Kendrick Bourne. Just some names I've been throwing out there in my other videos as guys to target. I think Wiley Cox is interesting as far as what he. I got these interesting tight end pairings where I have Cox plus Woods and I have Parham and McKitty. You know, maybe Gerald Everett doesn't necessarily work out as a starting tight end, so one of those other two guys take over. Cameron Brate might be a mega value, man. I think Gronk could stay retired. I'm like 50-50 on that right now. He's been saying some weird stuff in interviews, like he's donezo, and maybe he really is. I'm not sure. Cole Turner, I like him as a super late round flyer. Logan Thomas does not do anything for me personally as a tight end, even though he had this sweet top 3 finish. So yeah, that's a Universal Expert Elite Dynasty, maybe the most competitive league I play in. When you consider the other managers involved. Dynasty ranker on the league, bring that up for you to look at. I'm number 1 team as far as overall team value. That's only because I'm holding these 723 first round picks. Number 1 in receivers. Like, this is exactly where I want to be. This is me just kind of more and more perfecting my strategy. I want to be in the top 2 or 3 wide receiver. I want to be super massive on futures. Got, what I lack in quarterbacks, I make up for in tight ends. Not the best, but interesting. As this matures, I think we'll age into a very nice roster. The only problem is going to have to be waiting on whatever rookie quarterbacks I draft next year. Most of my teams I do this with, I think, it's a 1-year load, and then they're very competitive in the second season. This might be a 3rd season type doer here. This might be 2 years worth of tanking in front of me with this team. It's 3 RB start, and I only have 4 RBs rostered. So, but as far as the other teams, what are the other teams that I like in this league? Trying to see who jumps out at me. Alex obviously looks pretty big here. It was Chase Lamb, Gabe Davis, Tony Rogers. He's got some good tight ends. Lawrence Pickett Wentz, that's safe-ish. Taylor Saquon, like this is pretty good. J-Cap, he's looking all right. A little old, but he'd be okay. I think Allen kind of put together one of the best teams in the league with Herbert and Stafford, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, like good 4 starter-ish quarterbacks. Obviously Herbert, but then these 2 are great, and then these 2 are sketchy, and that's fine. But a 3 RB start league where you have Cook, Chubb, Zeke, Fournette is pretty sweet. Rashad Penny's interesting, and then he did good at receiver still with Waddle, Debo, Amon-Ra, Cooks, Shark, Gage. Like Gage is gonna catch a lot of passes. Zach Ertz down here, he's definitely hurting at tight end. This is he needs help at tight end, but who really cares? The tight end doesn't matter at all. He could win games taking a 0 on his tight end, so it doesn't really make a difference. Who else is looking real good to me? Nobody else really jumps out as far as being like this elite team for the upcoming season. Kevin, Russ, and Brady, love that. Waller, and Kevin's got a lot of points here. He can make some noise for sure. But yeah, that's the league. Gonna be tracking it, seeing how things break down in the future. I'll do some updates. I wanted to do a quick rundown and show you. So I've drafted 10 leagues this year, right? So as we look at my league list here on the left-hand side, 1, 2, starting with balls deep for Jimbo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leagues. This one doesn't count. It's Devi, and we're still drafting it. So 10 completed drafts this season. And I just want to show you guys how many 23 firsts I have across all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 in this one. There's 7 in the UEE. We already counted that. So that's 13. In this Texas league, this is a 14-team league. I got 4 more. That's 17. This Dynasty Ballers Network, I got 3 more. That's 20. This Ghost League, I made 2 trades for him last night. This is 6 more, so we're 26. The Taxi Poacher League, 4, so we're at 30. 2023 first round picks total. New Era, I got 3 more, that's 33. Idaho Sports League, pretty sure I got 5 picks in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 38. This Fire League, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, made a video on this one. 46 2023 first round picks. And then Balls Deep for Jimbo, of course, we have another 6 of them. So across 10 startups this season, your boy Stosh has 52 total 2023 first round picks. It's an average of over 5 per league. This is me putting my money where my mouth is. I'm fully all in on this class. As far as money is concerned, I mean, Louisiana is, I think, 50 bucks year over year. So there's they're all paid 2 years out. So there's $100. This one we just did is a $50 league, so there's another $100, so it's 200. This is a $50 league, 300. This is a $50 league, 400. This is a $100 league, so I'm in for 600. This one is 50 bucks, but we had to pay 3 years in a row, so that's 750. This is a $50 league, 2 years out, 850. This is a $50 league, 2 years out, 950. Same for this one, it's another 50 banger. All right, is this one Fire? Is this a 50 banger? No, it's not. So it's 25. So we're at 1,000. Balls Deep for Jimbo is a 25 banger. I paid 2 years out. So I have over $1,000, 1050 in my own money, spread across 10 leagues. Every single one of them I'm running the same strategy, almost the exact same. A couple of these leagues I am trying to be competitive up front. Only like 2 or 3 of them. Most of all of them, I'm pretty much just waiting for next year's rookie draft. Yeah, I am really enjoying putting this stuff together. I'm really enjoying making content. If you have any questions, hit me up on Sleeper. Leave a comment in the video about what you think about what I'm doing. Feel free to let me know, man. Be honest with me. It's all good. I can take it. Um, yeah. Like, subscribe, become a first round pick. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Spend some time with your loved ones. Take care, everybody.